Alright everyone, welcome back to another video of the F124 Driver Career Mode with Williams. This is episode 2 for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. If you missed the season opener at Bahrain, then I recommend go and check them out before seeing this one. One thing I didn't include in that video that I spent literally all day while waiting for F124 to unlock was this calendar. I forgot to mention it's a 16 race calendar for this season one, with some different changes like China and Miami, Las Vegas, Qatar as well included. Some of the newer tracks as well have been updated, so made sure to include Belgium and Silverstone as well. But obviously the intention is to race all 25 tracks that are available in F124. But yeah, here we are. If you missed the previous episode, spoiler alert, because Lando Norris won that race as well, ahead of Leclerc. Verstappen only P6, but will Red Bull respond today? Now, specialists. I'm going to talk a little bit about this with specialists, because we are going to look. We've got quite a few available. We've got this wind tunnel engineer. Again, I'm not entirely really sure. I mean, you can see what they can get with the perks, but open the DRS slot for more than 45 seconds during a race weekend. It feels a little bit too easy, that. And I think that is a very easy objective. So we're going to go for the other one, 119 mile an hour. I think there does need to be a difficulty, so you get more for doing the more difficult option. And also the goal that we choose should be unlock particular items, and the R&D. I'd love that to happen, but alas, they've not done that. It's just aero perks basically at the moment. It's not really R&D bit. We've also got our manufacturing expert. He's apparently leaving at the next weekend. I think we'll go for tyres, because I don't really fancy doing different using different engine components, especially this early in the season as well. I will be keeping an eye on the engine components, although it's not going to be as drastic as I think, but we'll have to wait and see. Then we've got power unit consultant. Finish a better out-qualify your teammate or get 3 purple sectors. Well, we're not getting 3 purple sectors, so and out-qualifying my teammate, I'm not very good at qualifying as well, but we'll see about that. Might just go for it anyway. We've got a strategy analysis. Perfect the race strategy and that, or complete it on 2 different tyre types. We'll just perfect it. Go for that. And then we'll chuck in the out qualifying Alex album, but I'm not entirely sure. We'll do that. Speaking of qualifying, it is time for qualifying.
Welcome to Jeddah Corniche, one of the fastest circuits on the calendar, but let's see who will be the fastest of them all. It's time to set the grid for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Yes, it's time for qualifying.
Right, I've got a little bit of an electrical problem at the moment. We're working on it, so don't worry. We're going to get you out there as soon as possible.
Okay, we've had our first fault as well of the game. Again, those have not changed from F123 or F122, F1 2021 or F1 2020 or any of the previous mini games since those were introduced. I'd love it if we could have those related to durability, but of course mechanical failures which need to be durability. But alas, we're not going to be able to do that. Now, our time, the first best time was a good enough P10 actually, so I'm actually doing a lot better here, and I've fiddled about with the setup since the opening, since that Bahrain episode a few days ago. First of all, lower wings, definitely, if you want to be able to match the A on a straight line. Otherwise, remember I struggled in Bahrain because I had 40 wings. I've lowered, they are much lower. I think I've gone 18, 13 here. The other thing, to avoid that rear locking that I had in Bahrain, I've lowered the engine braking, because most of the setups on Bahrain are 100% engine braking, and obviously I've gone for about 50%. It seems to have avoided that through low speed corners. Anyway, I've talked through the entire lap. about that. Yeah, that was it's not really nothing special around here. Actually lost time out of traction out the final corner because we were 4/10 up and we only back to 2.5. But you know, I probably could have got P7, P8, which is actually shows that I've got really good pace around here. You know, that qualified Albon as well, which we've actually hit that target. As well. I was not expecting that. It's a Red Bull 1-2. Verstappen's on pole by about 5,000 years. So, yeah. I was not expecting that, but we'll see what we can do from 10th. Can we get our first points of the season? It's time for the race.
It's still new to Formula One, but it has fast, sweeping corners, already making it a favourite. Welcome to the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. So let's take a look at a topographical map of the Jeddah Street circuit. As you can see, a number of challenging corners for the drivers to master here. We'll see just how much the teams have benefited from their time spent in practice this weekend. And like many street circuits, this track has the potential to punish drivers that get it wrong. Let's hope we avoid any safety cars today. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. World champion Max Verstappen starts from pole position. Sergio Perez lines up alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Fernando Alonso, Sainz, Russell, Leclerc, Oscar Piastri, Norris, Hamilton, Phoenix, Bottas, Albon, Stroll, Joe, Ocon, Gasly, Magnussen, Ricciardo, Tsunoda, and Nico Hülkenberg rounds off the grid. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track where preparations are underway. We welcome to the commentary box Anthony Davidson. I'm Alex Jakes. We're both looking forward to a really intriguing race today. Now, those final hours before a race, did you have a routine?
Well, for them, you've got your pre-race rituals that you go through. You see different drivers that, some have got their headphones on, they're listening to the music. Some drivers really absorb the energy from the crowd and they're there waving to them. Other drivers, they go within themselves. They chat to their engineers, absorbing that information, that vital information that you need to carry you through the race. And, those pre-race rituals are essential to making things systematic. We do a lot of Grand Prix in a season, and the more systematic you can be, the easier you are within that environment.
So, down on the grid, and race strategy for me will be a one-stop. If you've been subscribed to the channel longer, you'll know that I like the alternate one-stop from medium to soft. So that's what we're going to do. I think it would give us better tyres towards the end as well. So fibre lights, and away we go. And it's an okay start. Like to have got the jump on Hamilton. Annoyed that Bottas though has decided to stick his nose in. Yes, I mean we need a performance patch really to get rid of the Sauber, because it should be fighting for last place, not the points. But then of course we've got Racing Bull as well coming through. Up ahead of us, of course, we've got this battle between Alonso and Russell. Russell mediums compared to Alonso and softs. So there's a few people doing different strategies, whether they're going to fit hards as well as they did in Bahrain or not. We'll have to wait and see. The two Red Bulls fighting for the lead with the two Ferraris. Those four have escaped from the rest of the pack, and it's actually Perez who takes the lead from his teammate Max Verstappen as well. The two Red Bulls fighting for lead. So we're going to have a look at Oscar Piastri, has been forced up by Hamilton. Can we get this move done down the inside? Yes, we can. And up to P9. Very unusual place to make another. I don't think anyone's ever made an overtake at this particular corner. Obviously, you've seen dive at the previous corner, but yeah, and I had the inside line, and Bottas just followed me through there. Well, now Bottas is going to be a thorn in my side in this episode. Yeah, because he's gone past the DRS. The default setup around here is 13 wings. Now I think that needs. I think they need to make some adjustments to that, because that is way too low as well. I've gone 18-13 as a compromise. We are going to dive down the inside and get the position. Bottas cuts the curve a bit, at turn 1. Now we're going to squeeze into the wall. We're still side by side. Down the inside, there's a bit of tyre banging, and I have made the position work as well as. Yes, that was I didn't know if Bottas was going to turn in on us there and make contact, but I mean there was a bit of tyre banging, but nothing more than that. As Albon and Piastri going side by side, almost into the wall. Piastri's still there, is he on the inside? Yes, he is, and Piastri gets the better traction and keeps P11. Well, Bottas again comes on lap 3 with DRS. The good thing for us is that he's not swooping past off into the sunset with DRS, which I suspect he would have done had he not, if it was an F123. As we're watching Alonso again failing to get past George Russell. Alonso's failed with those to use those soft compound tyres. So that's Verstappen now getting past Charles. I think that's Carlos Sainz actually for second place. As I say, these four, Verstappen, the two Ferraris, two Red Bulls, are swapping positions left, right, and centre with DRS. The same can't be said for myself and Valtteri Bottas, as I just poked. This time it's my turn to poke my nose in. Now we're going side by side down the pit straight. He's got DRS. We're going to have to use a bit of overtake, I think. No, we're not going to use overtake. We're just going to dive it down the inside. As well, and give Bottas a space. Again, he takes the curve on the inside. Now again, it's a bit of deja vu. As well, I have the inside over Bottas yet again. And this time Bottas is forced out. This time, will Piastri be able to get past? I'm interested to see what Piastri's pace in that McLaren. Because obviously the idea is to end up at McLaren at some point. But obviously it's early days. Piastri doesn't get past Bottas, and Bottas comes at me again with DRS. This time he does get past. This time there's really sending it down at the final corner. That was a little bit iffy, but I have allowed Piastri to get past, and that's also Lando Norris getting in front of Alonso. But both now Alonso and Russell have got DRS. It's 3 wide between the three down the pit straight, and Russell gets past both of them. As well as we're watching now Carlos Sainz going past Sergio Perez, to take the lead. As I say, any one of those four could win this race. As well, behind me, we've got Piastri and Bottas. Piastri doesn't seem to have much as straight line speed as Bottas does, so I prefer to keep Piastri behind instead of Bottas. Now we do have a race average lap time to achieve. I've just done a personal best 34.6 on the mediums. I saw this a little bit on the F123 at the end, where I was actually faster on older tyres on the harder tyres. It's 3 wide. Stroll's come to join the party. Forced out Bottas. Can we get in front of Stroll? Yes, we can. Notice the DRS detection point has moved for this year as well. So it's now on the corner exit as opposed to the corner entry, the final corner as well. We forced out Bottas, and the Bottas had to yield. Stroll now coming through as well. Up at the front though, this is Charles Leclerc, and Charles Leclerc could be romping to victory here, because there is Perez, who's a distant speck as well, and that is Sainz and Verstappen both coming out. So it's a Ferrari 1-2, although Sainz has lost out to Verstappen, but and Verstappen has actually just set fastest lap. Notice that they've got the Red Bulls on the hards, but the Ferraris on mediums, as well as it's a comfortable slot for us. Where am I going to come out though? Zhou he must have undercut everyone by a few laps. We're feeding to turn 2 here, which is good because I'm coming out ahead of Bottas and Gasly. We're now on the soft tyres, so I'm hoping we can catch up to this lot, because Piastri now is jumped to the head of the queue. There's no me in the way. Head of Zhou, Albon and Stroll, those four, and that's the next group of cars, although Zhou is really attacking Piastri. Around the outside here, he's on the medium compound tyres compared to Piastri's hard, and Peugeot takes that position away from Piastri. I'm slightly worried about McLaren performance. They really need to change their Stroll. Again, not able to get past him here, and just again a little bit of OP traction from the AI there, as I talked about before. They're almost like 3 or 4 wide there as well, and Zhou's getting very close to Stroll. We just got to sit back and just save a little bit of ERS, which we will do in medium. You see it's going up and up all the time. We're going to send it on Zhou Guanyu in the corners and get ahead. A little bit of the understeer there. Not really want to go that wide, but there we go. We have made the position stick, and we're up to P12 as well. And obviously, this was going up ahead. Piastri's lost out to both Stroll and Albon now. This is slightly worrying for this. This version of the McLaren is a bit slow. I'm hoping, though, by the time we get promoted to McLaren, that there is a performance patch. As well, McLaren are more like their real life selves rather than this version in the current game. I am all over the back though of Oscar Piastri. Not a lot of ERS for me to play with, as well as we're going through the final corner. They're 3 wide. How can I get involved? Zhou is just sat there as well, and we're going to get Piastri on the exit here. But then look at this. I've got nowhere to go, so we're going to have to cut across Piastri. It's almost 4 wide. Going down the main straight, and Piastri backs out though. We're going to leave this room, take the inside corner, and move up to back to P9, where I was before, as well. But here's the replay then. Stroll's lost his front wing. Lance Stroll has lost his front wing. He is side by side between Albon on the left, myself on the right. He then gets pincered. Yeah, he gets squeezed by Albon into me. Wonder if Albon should have backed out here. I know he's going to position, but could he have seen what was going? I don't know. Broken early. Let me know who you think it's fault in the comments below. I try to leave as much space as possible for Stroll. As I say, I'll show you this on board with Piastri. As well, as I said, I try to leave as much space as possible, but it's not always hard to gauge that when you're 3 wide through that corner. Piastri will get past Albon, and then Piastri is just going to use his better performance than the McLaren. He's going to get past Stroll. Stroll's got half a front wing left as well, so he'll be coming in at the end of the lap. Unfortunate for Lance there, no points again for him. As well as watching up at the front, this is Alonso and the 2 Mercedes. Norris has dropped off. That is a worrying sign as well, that Norris is dropping off. But he's still in front of Hamilton now. As well, we've got Piastri caught back up to me. Lap 16. He tried to go and do what he did to Stroll, but nothing doing there. Tyres are starting to go off on the front rights, especially past the 25% interval. As well as we had a brief look at the front 3, the 2 Ferraris looked to have dropped, and Verstappen looked to have dropped Perez there, and that's Hamilton getting past Lance Stroll, sorry, not Lance Stroll, Lando Norris, excuse me, as well. But now, yeah, Albon, he's not had a great time, and I don't know what it is, but he's like Ricciardo. When he was a few years ago, when he was my teammate at Renault, every time he got on that hard tyre, he just fell back, and that's what's happened today. He's fallen behind Zhou again. As again, Piastri has a go at me in that section, but I just have absolutely no slam the door shut. Seems to be where he is, and obviously the McLaren seems to be better through the corners, which we did see that little bit of a trait at Jeddah. In real life, where the McLaren was a lot faster through those high-speed corners as well. Up at the front, though, that's Max Verstappen. He's going to win the race because he's got in front of the 2 Ferraris, and Perez has closed up as well. We'll see. It was a look like a bit of a photo finish between Perez and Sainz there for P3 for the final podium position. Albon has closed up with the two Saubers, but it's not going to be enough. And finally, I've scored my first points in Formula 1. It's come at the second race, but thankfully, it's Williams' first points of the season. So, you know, and that's a point more than what Logan Sargent has currently managed in his F1 career. P9, fastest lap wasn't too bad as well. Obviously, with the top 8 were miles away, no chance of catching them. They were in another league. Piastri today, I thought he could have done a little bit better. McLaren just didn't look like they had the pace today. As well, Leclerc, I think, would be very happy after not had the best of qualifying, but Verstappen, that fastest lap was a monster, 32.0 as well. You know, and obviously we're expecting more from the racing rules when they get that patch, because they really shouldn't be battling for last place, but hopefully that'll be coming soon. Leclerc takes the lead of the championship then by 1 point to Verstappen. Norris is 7 points further back. Perez is still there as well. Leclerc hasn't won a race so far, so interesting to see how this progresses throughout. You know, it's only still early days. We're just trying to get as many points as we can on the board as well. That 2 points lifts us up to P6. Red Bull have now an 11-point lead over Ferrari as well. McLaren, after a disappointing episode, dropped to P3 for having taken the lead in the opening round. Now in the teammate rivalry, I don't like this screen, to be honest, but there we go. We are beating Albon 4 out of 6 now, which, you know, he didn't have a very good race, to be honest. I'd expect him to be a little bit better. You know, he was good when he needs to be able to run away. All our stats have gone up. We've even improved focus this time, so it gives me a new rating of 67. Awareness was actually gone up the most there as well, and we've gained a percentage over Albon as well. We can't rush R&D upgrades until we get to 45%, so that's what I'm working towards, although I don't tend to rush it as well. Manufacturing update or strategy analysis. We didn't get the wind tunnel. For some reason we didn't do that 119 race, but we did get everything else with the specialists as well, including the one I didn't think we'd get, which is out qualifying Alex Albon as well. But we didn't get that 119 mile an hour average corner speed, which is unfortunate, but there we go. So yes, that is where I'm going to leave it for today's episode. If you have enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe to the new channel, see plenty more F1 24 Driver Career Mode episodes as when they come out. The next episode, Australia, hopefully should be out Monday. That's the plan as well. And then I don't know if I have time. I should have time as well to try and record China, but I don't know when that's going to come out as well. Bearing in mind that's a sprint race, so it'll take longer for me to edit. So Leclerc's finished runner-up twice now, but yes, we'll see if whoever bounces back in Australia, whether Red Bull, they are far in advance on the R&D chart, so we're expecting them to. They're probably favourites for Australia, but again, we do need that performance patch sooner rather than later to show what it is like and more realistic, because this is not what it's like in real life, you know, with, you know, the likes of Sauber fighting for points as well. Racing Bull at the back is really not where they are in real life at the moment as well. And they need to update the performances as well, because Sonoda needs a much better racing than what he's got at the moment as well. But yes, until the next video then, I'll see you next time. Take care. Thanks so much for watching. Enjoy your day, and goodbye.